A retired burglar told State Farm one line that changed how I think about home defense forever. "Dogs are a deal breaker for me. Big breeds, not worth the risk. You do not need a dog. You need everything on the porch that says one lives there." I am Max. Today on Outfox Apocalypse, 9 moves to make your house the wrong one to pick. Built for renters, but work in any home you own. Nothing your landlord will ever notice. And number 9 is free, $0, and the most counterintuitive defense move you will ever make. Quick warm-up, strike plate screws, Scotchshield film, 2x4 door brace, all 3 covered in my earlier home defense video on this channel. That is the baseline. Today, we go past it. Outside the house inward, 1 ring at a time, until we are standing in your bedroom with the lights off. Number 1. The lie. Intelligence community doctrine. The name is MILDEC, military deception. Principle in 1 sentence. The primary purpose of a safe house is to remain undetected. We apply that doctrine to your front porch for $15. A second pair of muddy work boots on the porch, bigger than yours. A men's extra large barn coat by the door, even if you are a 110-pound woman living alone. 2 coffee cups on the kitchen counter where the window faces the street. 2 dog bowls on the floor by the entryway, 1 big and 1 small, full of water, even with no dog. A talk radio station playing low volume in the back bedroom, 24/7. Independent random light timers in 3 different rooms. Independent, not synchronized, because synchronized timers click on at exactly 7 in the evening like a metronome, and the burglars on your street already know that pattern. Per FBI data, more than half of all residential burglaries happen during daylight hours, and the most common window is between 10 in the morning and 3 in the afternoon, when the offices are stuffed and the houses are empty. The burglar is looking for empty. You are going to look full, occupied, defended, and male. He picks the next house on the block. The data is on your side here. 60% of working burglars told researchers they think twice if the lights are on. 2/3 walk away if they hear a radio or a TV inside. A former Atlanta burglar named Jen Gomez described her job as a full-time 8 to noon shift, school bus gone, lunch break in the middle, hit a few more in the afternoon, rainy days preferred because people stay inside. Your light timers, your barn coat, your low-volume talk radio are designed to fool exactly her. One more move in this section, also free. When you leave town for more than 2 days, get a neighbor to pull your mail and your packages. A stacked mailbox is the single most reliable away signal on the entire street. And do not announce the trip on social media. Paris Hilton was robbed 5 times by a couple of teenagers who tracked her travels online. And those teenagers had her exact same playbook. This is the gray man home. Gray man doctrine applied to the place where you sleep. Number 2, the network. Sit in any car on any street in America, take out your phone, and scan the wireless networks. 2/3 of them are named the same way. The Smith family, Johnson Wi-Fi, Apartment 4B. Each name is a free intelligence handout. Family name, unit number, sometimes the floor of the building. The burglar in the car has not climbed out yet, and you have already told him who lives where. Rename your network. 3 options. Option 1, Smith & Wesson range. Reads like a wall of pistols. Option 2, Glock 19 5 GHz. 5 GHz is the band most modern routers broadcast on. He reads Glock 19, and his subconscious does the rest. Option 3, K9 Patrol Network. Reads like a retired cop and a police dog. A burglar choosing a house is not running a rational analysis. He runs a path of least resistance heuristic, scans 6 houses in 90 seconds, picks the one with the fewest warning signals, moves on. His conscious brain never weighs Wi-Fi names against deadbolts. His subconscious does. You just bumped your house from easy to not easy for the cost of opening your router app. While you are in there, 3 quick things. 1. Your Amazon Alexa and Google Home are microphones that listen all day. Turn off voice purchasing. 2. The Ring doorbell, per Ring's own transparency reports. Ring has released video to police without a warrant in emergency requests. Know that before you make it your primary defense. 3. Smart locks with Bluetooth, published security research going back to Anthony Rose at DEF Con, has demonstrated that multiple Bluetooth smart lock models can be defeated quickly with a laptop and a free script. Bluetooth is convenience, not security. Keep a mechanical grade 1 deadbolt as your real lock. $0. 20 minutes in the router settings. Number 3. The trash story. Years ago, when my wife and I were newly married and had just rented our first house, I bought a 50-inch television. New. I was proud of it. I cut up the box, folded the cardboard flat, and rolled it out to the curb on the morning of trash day. A few days later, we drove down to spend a week at her parents' place. When we came back, the television was gone. Side door open, frame pried, TV off the wall. They also took a small amount of cash I had been keeping in the bedroom. Savings, nothing major. That was it. They walked in, took the TV and the cash, and walked out. The cardboard box on the curb 6 days earlier had told them exactly where it lived, and the dark house with no car in the driveway for a week told them when to come. That is what your trash does, every week, for free, to anyone who drives past. The box from a rifle purchase tells them gun safe, ammunition, optic. The box from a new PlayStation tells them a teenager at school until 3 in the afternoon. The orange prescription bottles in your recycling bin with the label still on them tell them your full name, your address, the pharmacy you use, and exactly which controlled medications are in your bathroom cabinet. Per security consultant Bill Stanton on Inside Edition, to most people, garbage is garbage. To the bad guy, garbage is treasure. And it is not just what is in the bin. Burglars also watch trash cans that sit at the curb for days. If you forget to bring them in tonight, that is a free signal you were not home tonight. Defense costs $25, a cross-cut paper shredder. Anything with your name on it goes through the shredder before it leaves the house. Every prescription bottle gets the label torn off. Every cardboard box from anything expensive gets broken down, folded inside out so the brand name is hidden, and stuffed into an opaque black contractor bag. My own personal trick on top of that, for any sticker with my name or my address on it that will not just peel off cleanly, I take a black permanent marker and black it out completely. And if the label is one of those thermal print stickers, the kind shipping companies print at the warehouse, I just run a lighter under it for half a second. The whole label goes solid black on its own, because that paper darkens under heat. Costs nothing. 20 seconds per package. The bag goes to the curb on the morning of trash day, not the night before. Daylight only. Amazon Prime boxes. Treat that brown box with the smile like it is wearing your social security number on the outside. Number 4. The glass eye. This is the one that crawls under your skin once you know it exists. Burglars carry a tool called a reverse peephole viewer. $20 on Amazon. Looks like a little brass tube. He presses it against your peephole from the outside, and instead of you looking out, he is looking in. He sees your floor plan. He sees if you are home. He sees if you are armed. He sees the kids. $5. Plastic cover that flips down on the inside. He puts the reverse viewer up against the outside. He sees black. He moves on. Stack it with a 190-degree wide-angle peephole replacement on every exterior door, at multiple heights, so a wheelchair user or a child can also see out, and you have privacy back. Number 5. The cylinder. There is a technique called lock bumping. A bump key is a standard house key cut to the deepest possible groove on every pin. The burglar slides it in, taps the back of it, and the impact bounces the pins inside the cylinder for 1/10 of a second, long enough to turn the key. Most American residential pin tumbler locks open in under 10 seconds. Silent. Tutorials on YouTube. Bump key sets, $15 on eBay. per the consensus of locksmith trade publications and Department of Justice residential lock vulnerability advisories. The overwhelming majority of standard residential deadbolts built before bump resistance became a marketed feature are vulnerable. And here is the part nobody tells you about alarms while we are on this subject. One inmate said it plain to a researcher. "Sir, I needed there to be an alarm, because if you have something to protect, you have something I want. The ADT sticker on your lawn is not a deterrent for a professional. It is a billboard. The thing that actually stops him is the cylinder itself, the lock he tries to bump in 10 seconds before he ever rings the bell. That is what we are about to replace. 2 paths. Path 1, $80 to $120. Replace your front and back deadbolt cylinders with a bump-resistant lock. 3 brands every locksmith respects: Medeco, Mul-T-Lock, ASSA Abloy. Per their own published spec sheets, the high-security lines use sidebar mechanisms and angled pin cuts that defeat the bump key vibration. Buy from a real locksmith, not a no-name Amazon listing. Path 2, $15. A chain bolt, also called a flip bolt or surface bolt, mounted on the inside of the door above the deadbolt. A chain bolt has no exterior cylinder. There is nothing for the bump key to interact with. Opens from the inside only. If you rent and cannot replace the cylinder without losing your deposit, the chain bolt is your move. 2 screws, 5 minutes. Comes off to bare wood when you leave. Walk to your front door right now and look at the face of your deadbolt. If it does not say bump resistant or high security stamped on the cylinder face, assume it is vulnerable. So far, the lie at the porch, the network in the walls, the trash at the curb, the glass eye, the cylinder. That is the outside ring. Now we walk through the front door with him and ask the question nobody wants to ask. What if he gets in anyway? Because sometimes, even with everything we have just covered, he does. Number 6, the back door. Every American apartment, every condo, every walkout basement has a sliding glass door. That door is the single weakest point of the structure. The deadbolt on the front does not matter if the back is glass on a track. 3 fixes, none of them over $20. 1. A pin in the upper track. Drill a 5/16 inch hole through the top track where it overlaps the sliding panel. Drop in a steel pin or a small eye bolt. The panel cannot be lifted out of the track from the outside, the standard burglar trick on cheap sliders. Per published ADT burglary entry point data, roughly 22% of residential break-ins come through a slider, and the lift-out accounts for a large portion. 2. Film on the glass. Per 3M's own documentation on Scotchshield S70 and S80, the film does not stop glass from cracking and is not bulletproof. It holds the glass together as a sheet, so the smash and grab becomes a 5-minute hammering, swearing, sweating problem. Most burglars give up at 90 seconds. 3. A barrel bolt on the bottom of the inside frame. $8. Stops the panel from sliding even if the factory lock fails. The fire escape. That cast iron ladder is a highway. For your kids, it is the way out in a fire. For a burglar, it is the way in. A $20 motion-activated alarm screwed to the window frame at the top of the fire escape screams at 120 decibels when the window opens. If you are above the second floor with no fixed fire escape, a kid of folding escape ladder lives in a box under the bed for $90. Way out for you, not a way in for him, because it is not bolted to the building. Everything in this section comes off in 10 minutes when you move out. Renter-friendly by design. Number 7. The ears. Almost nobody talks about this one. SWAT uses them. Special Forces uses them. Competitive shooters use them. Home defenders should, and almost none of us do. Electronic earmuffs. Howard Late Impact Sport at about $50. Walker's Razor at $50 to $80. Peltor Comtac at the military grade end, $500 and up. They sit on your nightstand. You hear a noise downstairs at 2 in the morning, and they go on your head in 1.5 seconds before your feet hit the floor. 2 things happen. First, the ambient microphones amplify quiet sounds. Footsteps on hardwood from 3 rooms away, whispering on a stairwell landing, the click of a lockpick on a back door. You become bionic. You hear him before he hears you. Second, the part most people miss. If you have to fire a weapon inside a residential structure to defend your life, the muffs cut the gunshot at the eardrum the instant it lands. A standard 9mm fired inside a hallway is roughly 165 decibels at the shooter's ear, a permanent hearing damage event for everyone in the home, including your spouse and the kids in the next room. Per the published noise reduction rating on consumer electronic muffs, the Impact Sport and Razor knock 22 to 25 decibels off the peak, and the amplification circuit clips instantly when the round goes off. Ambient amplification keeps flowing the second the shot is over, so you can keep tracking what is happening in the rest of the house. A retired sheriff's deputy left a comment on one of our videos saying he had bought 4 pairs, one for every bedroom in the house, plus one for the safe room. He said it was the single piece of gear he had never seen mentioned in any preparedness video for the entire 26 years he had been in law enforcement. He said it should be standard issue. Number 8, the caches. So you are not home. The burglar somehow made it inside. Now, where are your valuables? 90% of people fail here. They hide everything in the same 3 places: master bedroom, master closet, under the mattress. Per the KGW Portland inmate survey, those are the first 3 rooms every experienced burglar searches. Average burglary, under 10 minutes. He has a checklist. Your dresser top is item 1. Stop hiding things where he looks, hide them where he does not. 5 caches. Pick the ones that match your home. 1. Inside the washing machine. Most front-load washers have a removable front access panel held on by 2 screws. Behind it, between the drum and the outer shell, is a void about the size of a shoebox. Slide a fireproof bag in there. He is not unscrewing your washing machine. 2. The freezer. Wrapped in aluminum foil, labeled leftover meatloaf, 2023. Buried under the actual frozen food. He is not eating cold mystery meat on a 10-minute clock. 3. A diversion electrical outlet. Search diversion safe outlet on Amazon, about $12. Looks identical to a wall outlet, mounts into the drywall, face opens with a fingertip into a small cavity. Cache, key, USB drive, all fit. He walks past 47 outlets in your house and never thinks about one. 4. Inside the ceiling fan housing. The dome under the blades unscrews. Inside, a void large enough for a small envelope. Requires a stepladder and a Phillips driver. He is not climbing your furniture with a screwdriver in his teeth. 5. A hollowed out book on the middle row of a bookshelf. Not the top is the obvious one. Middle row, between 2 boring titles. Real looking spine. Holds an envelope, a passport, a wad of cash. Principle behind all 5. The cash must require a tool or specific knowledge to access, not just opening a door or a drawer. The dresser fails this test. The washing machine panel passes it. Number 9. The sacrificial stash. Free. $0. Street survival tradecraft going back to the 1970s, when executives in crime-ridden cities started carrying a second wallet just to throw at a mugger. The most counterintuitive home defense move you will ever make. Every prepper instinct screams hide everything. Make the house look empty. That instinct is wrong. Average burglary, under 10 minutes. Thieves are panicked, adrenalized, on a clock. If they find nothing in those 10 minutes, they get desperate. They escalate. They tear into walls. They find your real stash. Sometimes they wait for you to come home. So you give them something to find. 1. Exactly 1. Visible, easy find stash. a bedroom drawer, a small box on the entryway shelf, an old wallet on the nightstand. Inside, $100 in cash, an old phone you do not use anymore, a piece of costume jewelry, 2 bottles of cheap liquor. Total replacement cost under $40. The pocket version, what concealed carry trainers and street safety instructors call a surrender wallet, is the same principle on your body. Hand it over. The threat de-escalates. The predator got what he came for. Here is why this is the last move on the list and not the first. Without the cashes in number 8, the sacrificial stash is just charity. You handed him $40 and your jewelry. But once your real valuables are inside the washing machine panel, the freezer, the diversion outlet, the ceiling fan, the book on the middle shelf, the stash becomes a decoy. He finds it in his first 3 minutes. His brain registers success. His urgency drops. He leaves before he ever discovers the real safe in the floor of the linen closet. He drives away thinking he won. You did. He took $40 and a phone you never used. You kept everything that mattered. 3 weekends, under $300 total, most of it the bump-resistant cylinder and the electronic earmuffs. Weekend 1, the lie, the network, the trash. Outside layer, about 3 hours plus a trip for the shredder. Weekend 2, the glass eye, the cylinder, the back door. Door and window layer, about 4 hours plus the cylinder in the mail. Weekend 3, the ears, the caches, the sacrificial stash. Inside the walls layer. About 2 hours plus the muffs and a diversion outlet from Amazon. 1 month. Your apartment looks identical to the day you signed the lease. Your threat profile is completely different. If you want this kind of breakdown for the rest of your life, physics first, no tactical fantasy, no $2,000 gear lists, subscribe. The pack shares knowledge. That is how we survive what is coming. One question for the comments. Which of the 9 cracked you open? Number 2. The Wi-Fi name usually splits the room. Some of you renamed your network the second you heard it. Some of you are still thinking the burglar in the car would not actually look. I want to read which one moved you. A reminder before we close. Everything in this video is for educational purposes. Laws on lock modifications, on door bracing, on the possession of certain self-defense tools, and on the disposal of prescription medication vary by state and by country. Check your lease, check your local statutes, and consult a qualified attorney before making any decision about lethal force. I am a fox with a physics degree. I am not a lawyer. Stay safe. Max out.